warranty in the entire solar industry. Other companies sound confident in their solar, but ask them what they will do if the system doesn't always produce the amount of energy that it is designed to. Here's what Sunlux will do. They will pay the difference in your electric bill. That's confidence. Have you ever heard of a car company so confident in its mileage rating that they're going to pay for your gas if it falls short? No. That is the Sunlux difference. And it's why I always say there are only two kinds of solar companies in Southern California. Sunlux and everyone else. Get solar and start saving money today at sunlux.com. That's sunlux.com. CSLB 1008374.
3 years ago, a neighbor of my daughter's went completely squirrely, and she and I were genuinely frightened for her safety. So I bought her a taser, the perfect non-lethal defense device. Taser's smart self-protection can stop threats before, during, and after you pull the trigger. Taser is designed for home defense, your daily commute, and everywhere in between. She wanted to feel safe. I wanted to feel safe about her. This is really about stopping the bad guys before you're in real physical danger. Get Taser Pulse Plus today. Save 15% at Taser.com. Enter the promo code BILLHANDLE. That's spelled T-A-S-E-R, Taser.com. Promo code BILLHANDLE. Save 15% at Taser.com. Promo code BILLHANDLE. Supplies are limited. Restrictions apply. See the site for details. Taser.com. Promo code BILLHANDLE.
Mucinex DM's bilayer tablet allows for immediate and extended release, relieving both wet and dry cough and loosening chest congestion for 12 hours. Mucinex is your trusted partner to help relieve cough and chest congestion and get your body back into control. Available at Walmart.
Rates subject to change without notice. Minimum loan amount and certain restrictions apply. 50% loan to value and 740 FICO credit score. First lien only. This is a dramatization. Cash out will vary. Subject to credit approval. NMLS 3290. Loans made or arranged pursuant to a California financing law license number 6036970. Equal housing lender.
Can you believe how much the Garcias house sold for?
I know. Home values are so high right now.
I wish I could pull about $50,000 from my home's equity without selling.
You can. We just pulled cash from our home's equity to redo our backyard this summer. We used IntelliLoan, and get this, our monthly payments actually went down. IntelliLoan offered us a 1.99% rate and APR with no points or lender fees.
Wow, 1.99% with no points?
And no lender fees.
Hello, new pool.
Take the number. It's 800-918-6200. 800-918-6200. Or just go to IntelliLoan.com. IntelliLoan. Borrow smart. Keep your home sanitized with Coit services. Save up to 30%. Visit Coit.com.
How do you know if 1-800-NO-CUPS is right for you? I'm attorney Darren Kavanoki, founder of 1-800-NO-CUPS. If you've been wearing handcuffs, and not by choice, 1-800-NO-CUPS is the number you need to know. Since no one looks good in handcuffs, 1-800-NO-CUPS.
I know the weight of the world seems to rest on your shoulders, and sometimes life seems like it's filled only with confusion and chaos. But I assure you, I have a plan for you.
The Jesus Christ Show, tomorrow morning at 6 on Kfi Am 640.
More stimulating talk.
KFI, D-Sharp the House Whisperer, welcome home. Good Saturday morning to you. You're finding us right in the middle of an all-calls show, an all-calls weekend. You're making up the topics for the day. Whatever's going on with your home, give me a call. We'll talk about it. 833-2-ASK-DEAN is the number to reach me at. 833, the number 2, ASK-DEAN. Let's go back to the phone. Jim, welcome home.
Good morning, Dean. So I've got a piece of property I've had for about 10 years. It overlooks the lake. I think about possibly putting a cabin on it. What do you know about cabin systems that you suggest that I manage the whole process myself and the grading and everything?
Okay, big question. What do I know about? Well, let's start with the managing the whole process. Do you have some experience in this? Is it something that are you a bit of a DIY kind of a guy? Because if it's a foreign experience to you, and then I strongly, or you don't have the time to invest, then I strongly recommend that you get a contractor and/or you maybe hire a project manager to help manage the project for you. That's all entirely up to you. I am somebody who is, having done this for like some 35 plus years now, I am convinced that anybody who has the will to manage a project, a construction project for themselves, and the time, can in fact do it, regardless of what realm of life they've come from. I've seen it work. I've also seen people who really have the skills to do it fail at it because they don't actually have the time to put into it and do it properly. So that one, that's something you're going to have to decide. As far as grading is concerned, sure, you can manage that. Again, ultimately, as a homeowner, you're always going to be the person who's completely in charge. You are the builder at the end of the day, regardless of how many people you've got working under you. As long as you are, using the experts. You've got a surveyor, you've got somebody who's working out the grading, making sure drainage and everything is proper. Why not? Sure, why not? As far as cabin kits are concerned, oh my gosh, here's where not jumping into it is probably the most important thing, because I don't know how far you've looked into the idea of log cabins, but is that what we're talking about, a potential log cabin or just a cabin in general?
Log cabin.
Log cabin, right. There are just so many ways to skin that cat. There are a lot of really good kits out there, but you got to be happy with the layout. It's got to work well for the property. There are also custom cabin companies that will build anything that you want, and you've got to get yourself an engineer at that point who is familiar with log cabin construction to make sure that you're putting it up right. But before you even begin with all of that, design matters most, and so you've got to choose for yourself, what style of cabin we're talking about. And I know people are like, what do you mean, what style of cabin, Dean? It's a log cabin. Yeah, there are a lot of different configurations of log cabins. There's a lot of different configurations of the logs. There's machine milled logs in which everything is perfectly uniform because it's basically turned into essentially framing lumber. There is hand-hewn lumber, which can just be wild and fanciful, and especially on the ends as they stick out. So the look, very different, a lot more rustic with the hand-hewn as opposed to the machine-milled. And then the configuration of the log itself. Some logs are splined together. Some logs are full circle, full oval, and then the gaps in between the logs are filled with some form of kind of a mortar compound. It's what we call chinking the logs. Others are D-cut, in which there's a flat bottom and top that you get the round on both sides. Others are completely square cut. So on and on it goes. There's just a big, beautiful world of log cabin construction out there. And so the key, Jim, is to do your research, invest yourself in the process, figure out the look that you want to go for, and then let that guide you into the next step and the next and the next. Because a lot of kits aren't going to, for instance, if you want a hand-hewn look, a lot of kits are going to be set up for machine-milled logs. So that's going to exclude some of those from your options. I hope that makes sense. Jim, thank you for your question. Good luck on the cabin. And when it's done, give me a call. We'll come up. We'll sit and overlook the lake and sip a warm beverage or two. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us on the program today. We've got so much more to come. More of your calls when we return. So glad you've joined us. You're home with Dean Sharp, the House Whisperer, on KFI.
We tried less stimulating talk.
It ended poorly.
KFI.
KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
Crash Connection. I'm Brian Berman, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. The LA County Sheriff's Department says it's looking for a teenager who may be connected to a hit and run.
Sergeant Richard Lewis says the mystery started following an altercation of some kind between two drivers near the intersection of Garvey Avenue and San Gabriel Boulevard in Rosemead. Lewis says the driver of a black Nissan drove into a 61-year-old man Monday morning. The man died Wednesday.
We have two independent witnesses who gave us descriptions of the individual driving the vehicle that do not match the description of this juvenile, who we know was last seen legally with that vehicle.
Lewis says it's not clear if the boy was in the car at the time of the hit and run. The car was found abandoned hours later. The boy took the car early Sunday morning and hasn't been seen since. In Temple City, Steve Gregory, KFI News.
The jury in the Kyle Rittenhouse trial may end up having more flexibility when considering charges against him.
The judge indicating he will likely allow the jury, who's expected to begin deliberating Monday, to consider lesser charges against Rittenhouse, who's accused of killing Joseph Rosenbaum and Anthony Huber and injuring Gage Grosskreutz with an AR-15.
ABC's Alex Perez says the judge's choice would help the prosecution's fight for Rittenhouse to be convicted. Rittenhouse is accused of killing 2 men and hurting another last year. He's claimed he was acting in self-defense in all 3 of the shootings. Britney Spears and her fans are celebrating the end of her conservatorship.
Spears took to Twitter writing best day ever after a judge in LA ended the 14-year arrangement. Her fans celebrated in the streets outside the courthouse yesterday as they held signs in support of the singer.
We're all obviously excited. It's been a long time coming. This is the first day of a whole new life for Britney Spears.
Spears attorney Matthew Rosengard praised the singer after the decision was made.
I'm so proud of her. I thank her. I thank her for her courage and poise.
Spears was not at the hearing. Blake Trolley, KFI News. Countries in Europe are trying to get a handle on high numbers of COVID-19 cases. ABC's Phil Lipoff says the Netherlands has put a 3-week partial lockdown in place.
Bars, restaurants, supermarkets will all close at 8 p.m. Professional sports again to be played in empty stadiums. The Austrian Chancellor is set to implement lockdowns for the unvaccinated.
Health officials in the European Union say there are 10 countries that are at the highest level of concern for COVID. The list includes the Netherlands, Greece, Hungary, and Poland. LA County Public Health Director Barbara Ferrer says there are several factors to consider to avoid a COVID-19 surge over the next few months.
While we hope the preventive measures we're taking blunt the rise of cases in LA County, we do acknowledge the risk that comes with cooler weather and indoor gatherings, and perhaps some waning of vaccine effectiveness.
Ferrer says it's very possible there could be a winter surge as people travel and get together to celebrate the holidays. He says COVID hospitalizations are already on the rise in LA County. The Rockefeller Center Christmas tree has arrived in New York City. This year's tree came from Maryland, and it's 79 feet tall and nearly 80 years old. The ceremony to light the massive tree is set for December 1st. The tree will be wrapped with more than 50,000 multicolored lights and topped with a star covered in 3 million Swarovski crystals. Always a Christmas staple in my family's house. Kenny G, saxophone player, says he only washes his curly locks once every 3 weeks because his hair doesn't really get dirty. Quite a claim. Kenny G, whose real name is Kenny Gorlick, says he's a clean guy and the 3-week timeline works best for him to keep his curls intact. He says people have been trying to get him to up his wash routine for the past 40 years, but he's not doing it. And we are sticking with this crash on the 105.
Yeah, unfortunately, you're stuck in a lot of traffic as well there if you're on the 105 eastbound. It's been Linwood right before the 710 where this crash happened. They have all traffic being diverted off the freeway at Long Beach Boulevard. You're jammed all the way back to Central now because of that. In San Pedro, the Vincent Thomas Bridge remains shut down for police activity. Been here all day yesterday and now all morning this morning as well. So take Anaheim Street or Pacific Coast Highway instead. Caltrans working in Ontario, the eastbound side of the 10, Milliken to the 15. It's a rotating closure all weekend long. 3 lanes currently shut down. You're back up to Haven. KFI in the sky helps get there faster. I'm Robert Sabucky.
You've been lied to. Lied to by corrupt Washington politicians and the Wall Street propaganda machine. Hi, I'm Inc. magazine best-selling author Brett Kitchen, and I want to give you a free copy of my brand new book, Wealth Beyond Wall Street, because we all know another market crash could be right around the corner. After losing 35% in my IRA in the crash years ago, I said enough, and since then I discovered a way to grow money potentially double digits, reduce taxes dramatically, and also have my money protected when the next stock market crash hits. When the next market crash hits, you lose nothing. Call Wealth Beyond Wall Street now to get your free copy and talk with a specialist to discover this little-known strategy to get potential double-digit growth during good years and never lose when the next stock market crash hits, all while building a tax-advantaged retirement. Call 800-908-1616 to discover this asset that people like Walt Disney and J.C. Penney use to grow wealthy. Plus, get one of just 97 free books left. We even cover shipping and handling, no credit card required. Call 800-908-1616. That's 800-908-1616. 1-800-908-1616.
Southline weather from KFI. Sunny and hot today. Some light to medium winds. Mid-70s to low 80s at the beaches, mid-80s to low 90s in Metro LA and OC, mid-80s to low 90s in the inland valleys, and mid-80s to low 90s in the Inland Empire. Clear skies tonight, cooling down a little tomorrow. Right now it's 64 degrees in Brea, 64 in San Clemente, 68 in Culver City, and 61 in Pasadena. We lead local, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Brian Berumen. We would never be so emotionally manipulative as to play for you our theme song as sung by a adorable 4-year-old and her daddy. Wouldn't do that. Or would we? KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. You are listening to Home. I'm Dean Sharp, the House Whisperer, custom home builder, custom home designer. Here with you live like I am every Saturday morning from 6 to 8, Sundays from 9 to 11. Welcome to the second hour of our fine program. What are we here to do? I'm here to help. That's why I'm here, to be an advocate for you as you wrestle with construction issues, a design mentor, because when it comes to transforming your home, design matters most, and a friendly voice on your Saturday morning, helping you build yourself a more beautiful home, hopefully a more beautiful life, because that's the whole point, and to do it more affordably and more artfully than you ever imagined. It's an all-calls weekend that we are doing. We do this every few weeks so that we can kind of clear the decks and just get everybody heard. The number to reach me at, 833-2-ASK-DEAN, 833, the number 2, Ask Dean. All right, back to the phone, shall we? Bonnie, welcome home.
Thank you, Dean. I love your show. I have my heart set on a damless shower. And unfortunately, it's in the area of the house which is on the slab foundation. And the contractor is saying that we have to break the foundation and go down a little bit to create the slope for the shower. So I wanted to ask you about that. What do I have to look out for as the homeowner? Never broke a foundation before. I'm concerned.
You're concerned. Don't be too concerned. Don't be too concerned. Yeah, it's one of those areas where people are like, oh my, what's going to happen? Is my house going to collapse? No, it's not. Here's one thing. Now, how old is the house? When was the house built?
The house is probably around from the 1960s. It does have caissons in some areas. I doubt if it has a caisson right there.
Okay. So, the only thing I was going to say that people have to be super aware of, if your house was built in the 1980s, 1990s, or early 2000s, those houses, there's a potential here in Southern California that they are post-tension slabs, what we call post-tension slabs. They have cables running through them instead of standard rebar. Okay, so those cables, and by the way, that can still be done. Everybody, you can always make a curbless shower in your slab, always, even with a post-tension slab, but you just have to be more hyper-vigilant. Now, in your case, a house built in the 60s, it's just standard rebar in your slab. And so, contractor knows what he's doing. Yeah, you're going to saw cut the area where the shower pan is going to go, because, yeah, we've got to make a recess. Now, depending on the materials that he's using, we've either got to recess down a couple inches or as many as 4 inches. And most slabs in a home are 4 inches thick. So the point being, we've got to cut out that section and then do a little digging underneath and basically just re-pour it, with a recess there. So, and the drain now mounted at the bottom of that recess. And then the entire process, everything that was going to be a shower dam and a shower pan and everything above the slab, which is what people are used to, that all just happens 4 inches lower. So as a result, when we're all said and done, the tile of the shower at its high point rises up and seamlessly joins with the tile in the rest of the bathroom. And therefore, we have no curb, no dam. A lot of people think that a curbless shower means that there's just a drain in there and that it's perfectly flat. It's not flat. Everything about the shower pan is just as it would be if it were above the floor level. It's just all been recessed down. So what you don't see, hopefully, if you do this right, you don't really perceive the fact that once you hit the edge of the shower line, that floor now is going to begin to bowl and slope into the drain. But that's exactly the case. And then you're going to use the shower glass or whatever barriers you've got in order to contain the water splash and so on the other side. So Bonnie, don't worry about it. Trust your builder, but get the whole plan from him first. Tell me exactly what you're going to do here, how you're going to tie it back in, what rebar casting are you going to do when we cut out this section, and you should be good to go. And I will tell you this, let me encourage you this way. If you're a fan of the show, you've heard me say, we have not put in what has been the old top style above floor shower pan with maybe 2 exceptions. We haven't done one of those in 8 years, probably going on 10 years. And I'll tell you why. Not only is it great for aging in place, having no curb there, to be able to have access to the shower, but it just has so many design benefits to it. So many. It'll take a small bathroom, make it larger, because there's no barrier between the rest of the bathroom floor and the shower, so that area counts visually as more square footage of the bathroom area. It's a beautiful effect. So we do it. So we do it. We do it every time we can, which is most of the time. Bonnie, thank you for the call. When we return, more of your calls. We're trying to do a lightning round when we come back, so we